I was just going to say, I'm enjoying your jokes, quips, and boners this morning.
Thank you. We're glad you're.
Boners was a word.
Yes.
We're glad you're enjoying this erection cycle, as
Herschel says.
Would say.
But it used to be synonym for blooper, right?
Boners.
Boners.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you just pulled a boner. You just, okay.
What is your
I'm
beef
way down a rabbit hole now.
With noted lesbian Peppermint Patty? What is your beef, Bob?
Well, she complains about that dinner for what seems like 10 minutes. I mean, she just really is. Yeah,
that's because they cut the
Brown
Twinkie. They cut the Twinkie before she got. Oh, that's Avalon.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, she's relentless against Charlie Brown because of the jelly beans and the toast and the popcorn. But my God, a sentient dog and a sentient bird made that dinner.
Yeah,
right.
And she's gonna sit there. I mean, that's amazing.
Well,
I mean, can you imagine if your dog and a bird made your Thanksgiving dinner? I'd be calling. I don't
know if you can call that, bird sentient, because if you only spoke in exclamation points, then you're, Marjorie Taylor Greene. But
that's true. Okay, I take the bird not sentient.
Do not blame Woodstock. Do not equate Woodstock to MGT.
Woodstock is pure joy.
Yes.
Are you dehumanizing Woodstock? Stephanie? Is that what we're doing?
Bob. Oh, Bob.
Yes.
This is the what do you call it? Yes.
Right-wing hypocrites.
It just makes our head explode on a daily basis. You said, imagine if Biden had offices and a bank account in Shanghai. Imagine if China's largest bank leased 3 floors of Biden Tower in Manhattan. Imagine if Biden's daughter held trademarks in China. Imagine if Biden did business with China's corrupt State Grid Corp, just like Trump. We can't because our heads will explode, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Kevin McCarthy's going to start some hearings on China, and obviously this is going to be connected to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, and the idea that Joe Biden is corrupt because he may or probably didn't have business with China is hilarious to me, given the fact that China's largest bank leased 3 floors of Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Trump International has an office in Shanghai, for God's sake, and a bank account. They have paid taxes in China.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about one line, maybe from a Hunter Biden email that was possibly hacked and stolen.
Well, thank you. And
ludicrous.
You were all over this on Twitter. Official CBS confirms Hunter Biden laptop is real 769 days after the Post broke the story. This is from the New York Post.
Right.
You said fact check. CBS News analyst didn't examine the laptop. Not sure how someone can confirm a thing is real without actually seeing and holding the thing. And you said, I hope Hal Sparks posts his commentary on this CBS report. The forensic review doesn't do anything to verify the suspicious files weren't hacked and planted on the HDD. The report only verifies laptop usage and Hunter-related files, but not whether the files could have been planted. I mean, this whole thing is just... I mean, besides the fact of how much Jared and Ivanka all profited while working for the Trump administration.
Oh, yeah. This is Hillary Clinton's email server all over again.
Right.
They're taking something that's a big nothing and saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, see, laptop. Yeah, you know what that means. You know what laptop means. And then they combine that with some unfortunate photographs of Hunter Biden, and it gets even worse. Oh, my God. But look, if you wanted to frame someone for having weird things on their laptop, this would be exactly how you do it. You take a bunch of legitimate files that you may have hacked from his phone or some other source, and you launder in, just like money laundering, you launder in all kinds of other salacious things, and you mix it all up so it looks legitimate, and then you never present an actual laptop.
Right.
Yeah.
You never actually reveal the existence of this laptop. I mean, there were headlines. It wasn't just the New York Post. Mediaite had a headline, CBS News confirms laptop is real, even though at no point did they actually look at the laptop. They looked at a hard drive of materials provided by this shoddy chain of evidence that they've been dealing with. Yeah. I mean, the guy who owned the Mac shop didn't turn over the alleged laptop or the hard drive that he made copies of the files onto for something like 8 months after he first received it. So there's this entire gap of time. Plus, the Washington Post is a source that's often cited as confirming the existence of the laptop, which we have not seen.
Yeah.
And the Washington Post found a bunch of the files in there were not Hunter Biden's files. A bunch of files were added in after the fact. So we have evidence through the Washington Post that a lot of the stuff on the laptop was bogus, mixed in with legitimate things to make it all seem real.
Yeah.
And it's not real. Yeah.
But you're right. I feel like we're getting owned again.
Yeah.
Because this is the same as with Hillary, where we're just like, wait, what? I never even got what the there is. And then sure enough, there was no there.
Right.
But we all like go, get defensive. And this, I love this. Ron Filipowski tweeted, Trump's pet Yorkie, Jim Jordan, is now ranting and raving about Jack Smith's appointment, how everything goes back to Obama, and the House is now going to add an investigation of the special counsel's appointment to all their other investigations. I mean, this is the kind of rabbit hole we're going to go down day after day. Right?
Oh, right. I think what they're doing is taking the fact that Jack Smith was elevated to acting U.S. attorney, and I forget which district it was in 2015, as being somehow the doing of Barack Obama. But in the federal government, you can become an acting whatever and not be appointed to that position by the president. You could just be elevated by the very nature of what your prior post was. I mean, my dad used to be acting inspector general of the Treasury Department. And he was only that acting role because the inspector general had stepped down at some point, and my dad, being a career employee of the government, was just automatically elevated to that post. It wasn't like at the time Bill Clinton said, "Okay, Bob Cesca, you're now going to be the act." No, that's not how it works. But that's how they're extrapolating this guy out to be some sort of,
by the way,
puppet of Barack Obama.
By the way, name dropper. Chris's dad was a fireman.
Okay. My dad was
Did
a singer.
I do that?
Jody's dad won a lot of Emmys. Okay.
Yeah. Producer of TV show. Just a little teeny sketch show for a period of time.
My daddy went okay.
He was in the first American Express commercial.
Yes, your dad was in the first American
Yes,
Express
he was.
commercial.
That's more.
I remember that
dad-
commercial.
He's always said he should have done that first.
The director, Paul Thomas Anderson, thought Jody's dad was like Superman, was like Jor-El, was like Marlon Brando as Jor-El. I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson was kind of in love with Jody's dad. This is a little fun fact.
That is a fun
a
fact.
fun fact. Did you know, for instance, Jody was fatty 2x4, too big to get out Carol Burnet's kitchen door? She was the biggest child that she had. That's where her lifelong body image issues come from.
Yeah, I knew that, but what a weird segue, Stephanie.
Okay. Well, Bob, you know what?
Wow.
It's a travel
Yeah, by
day.
the way, Bob, Jody was fat when she was a kid, or whatever.
Why do you think she drinks her weight in Tab
Used to.
every day, hour? Okay, Bob.
Okay.
I haven't gotten much
weird.
sleep, and it's travel day, and it's the holidays. So
I
just
know what you mean,
come with
yeah.
me. Stephanie Rule tweeted, the greatest way to truly punish a narcissist and provocateur is ignore them. And you just said ignoring and blocking him might feel good, but it won't make him any less dangerous. Every normal on this site could block Trump today, and he still could use his 83 million followers to incite another insurrection, or worse, with zero pushback. I'm in the stay and fight group for now.
Yeah. And here's I think a real world example of this. Matt Walsh and some other people of that Daily Wire network have been demonizing LGBTQ for years, but I mean specifically about Children's Hospital and gender affirming care for at least the last 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And this is a case where we don't really pay attention much to Matt Walsh. But you know what?
We should.
The fact that we didn't pay attention to what Matt Walsh was saying on his show didn't seem to matter because this shooting happened anyway in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. We don't have a one-to-one linkage between the shooter and Matt Walsh's podcast, but it's part of this overall jihad, this holy war against specifically trans kids.
Yeah, they make it sound like liberals are literally chasing kids in alleys with an axe to do gender surgery.
But if you mute all these people or don't even go into this universe, you have no idea what they're talking about. And then when something like that happens, you're surprised. We should not be surprised. We should be ready for what comes.
Yeah, and I learned my lesson in 2016 because I didn't take any of the Hillary stuff serious. I was like, are you kidding me? Who would think she runs a sex ring in a pizza, basement? But that's the thing.
But
it's
it had legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and this is just another case where ignoring Matt Walsh didn't make him go away. In fact, it empowered him. It allowed him to spread that filth unopposed, where we were all just doing something else and saying la la la,
Mike
not
Pompeo,
listening to Matt Walsh.
Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State, just said the head of the teachers union is the most dangerous person in the world, more dangerous than Kim Jong-un. You think she's going to get death threats now? Or targeted?
Yes.
I mean, it's just it's insane how they are targeting people specifically. In this case, teachers, because he said for the filth they're teaching our children, and she's the most dangerous person in the world.
I mean, it's an uphill battle, and I think Chris and I are in agreement on this because it's one of those things where I get it. I get from a mental health point of view that sometimes we just got to block someone. Yeah. We just got to get them out of our social media lives and try not to, stir up our anxiety by deliberately looking at the awfulness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're in a basically a political civil war at this point. And if we're not informed about what the opponents in the Civil War are saying and doing, then we're putting ourselves at an automatic disadvantage.
Exactly.
And I think, by the way, Elon Musk literally wants to drive away all normals from Twitter so it can become exclusively this red hat playground, this bro-libertarian playground.
Well, I don't know if it was a screenshot in my Twitter mentions, but, it literally is an account with the K word for Jewish people in it, in the handle.
Oh, yeah. God.
Is in the Twitter handle, and then the actual handle is N-words, is something N-word. I mean, it's just, you're like, that's the thing. They're going to assume that like normals are not going to, I don't know. Again, I got to check it. I don't know if it's I would just mute it, but I don't know whether it was a screenshot, but you're right. It's
Well, Jon Stewart talked about on Stephen Colbert's show about how it was right after Elon Musk took over and started monkeying around with what's allowed and what's not allowed. Suddenly one morning, the Jews was trending on Twitter. Yeah. And whenever that happens, it's never followed by something complimentary.
Are great. Are fantastic.
Right. Own everything in the world, and the Jews are destroying democracy, or whatever they're saying.
It's never make great soup. It's never anything that is true, but also positive. Bob, you're a helper. Because you're a helper, you have tweeted, it is, oh my God, I love matzo ball so much. So much. Oh my God, so much.
Yeah.
Okay. You tweeted, if you're visiting your Red Hat parents for Thanksgiving, you can use the parental controls on their televisions to secretly block Fox News, Fox Business, Newsmax, etc. It doesn't take long, and it might help deprogram them.
It would.
Thank you, Bob, for this helpful Thanksgiving tip.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Just trying to help along. It's very easy to do this. Mm-hmm. And Thanksgiving happens to be one of those occasions where people do a lot of napping. Mm-hmm. So while there's napping,
I'm not technical, so for years I was just my mom's human Fox blocker. I'd just be like, don't watch this. I'd just be in front of the TV.
Well, you could try that, but that might put you in the line of fire. I wouldn't suggest, because they're armed up. They have weapons.
That's my technique. I'm not listening. John Hannity's talking. I'm not listening.
Yeah. But you can use the parental. You can literally do that. And the other thing is, you make sure that you're not being retaliated against. Familiarize yourself with the parental controls on your own TV if you happen to have red hats coming over to your house for Thanksgiving, because they could try the same thing. But I think this is a foolproof plan to at least start the process of deprogramming them. It was kind of based on something that Jen Senko, the director of The Brainwashing of My Dad, came up with.
I love that.
The way she was able to deprogram her dad is to block all of the newsletters he was getting in his email. Wow. Unsubscribe and block them. Yeah, and that actually started the process where he became a Kennedy Democrat again after falling to the dark side for a long period of time. So
my heart can never unsubscribe from you, Bob. I love you, Bob. I'm so thankful for you. I'm going to call your girl. I'm calling your girlfriend later. I'm going to yell out your name. We're both going to yell out your name. Kimberly has coined a new phrase on Twitter, and that is "get a refrigerator." You two.
Yeah, she said that to me and Charlie yesterday.
Get a refrigerator. Thankful for you and your equally gorgeous Amazon girlfriend. We love you, Bob Cesca. You and your whole giant family.
Love you too, Stephanie. Yes.
I can't imagine the size of the turkey at your family Thanksgiving. It probably tips over the car like in the Flintstones.
because we're a radio family, we drop them out of helicopters.
Exactly.
Every year.
Exactly.
Say it with me. God is my witness.
I
I thought turkeys could fly. Nerds, radio nerds. Love you, Bob.
Thanks,
Love
Bob.
See you next
Stephanie.
week.
Love it,
Happy
everybody. Thank
Thanksgiving.
you.
Bye.
Ow.